is no longer there. It's changed hands. So Fred came up with a great idea, and I don't know what you all think of it. Get rid of all the hedges and put some, what is it, Fred, swirl design out there, and then maybe put small plants in front of it.
In the fence that's there.
I think we're talking about two different things. I was talking about the entrance area, not those hedges that
But
are
it includes the
lighted
hedges
right
about
now.
whether you can see or not, that's why he's bringing it up.
We're kind of, you're moving on to the fenced hedges that go the whole length of 16th Avenue.
No, he's talking about just the entrance hedges.
No.
Talking about the hedges.
No, the whole hedges. Now I'm talking about the whole, because that's part of the front entrance.
Well, except that we
We're
were
talking about the front
not
entrance
really
itself.
addressing those hedges. Obviously, they're suffering right now. I don't know if they're beyond repair, I don't know, but.
No, they're not beyond repair.
That's another issue. I was really talking about the hedges that are right in front of the sign. You were talking about how you can't see them. I know that the hedge is
John.
further out.
I wanted to rip all that out of there 2 years ago.
Let's get on with it.
So it all has to be ripped out. We have to start new. Once they, it's not going to take much to, it's not a big piece of property.
I know.
So once you figure out the water feature, which I think would be the best, it's an opinion, and I get a 20% opinion on that. Once you have a nice water feature, believe you me, if you say, look at the nice water feature out there, they will find us.
Tony, I also ask you, how many developments do you know with 314 owners that don't have an identity? I can't think of one around here that doesn't have a sign in front of it that says the Standard,
John,
Commodore, whatever
Right,
it is.
yeah, but that's when it's not the sign and the hedges are, go look at those
I know,
properties.
but again, if
I'm
all,
going
if
like this.
everything in that area was ripped out with a landscape architect and a sign company working in conjunction, they would design something where the plantings do not block the sign, because it would be designed. That's the thing that I'm talking about, including those green hedges that are thriving in front of the sign or in back of the sign. And even that tree, there's one tree, not two. There's a possibility of moving a lot of the trees or greenery up to the directory part of the
Okay.
thing. So that's what I
I
want.
tell you what, why don't we just, board, what do you want to do with this? Do you want to do,
I say we go forward and approve the $25,000 for a
Okay.
startup, something, at least getting some.
well, maybe the
information.
whole thing.
You
Maybe
never
the whole
do, never
thing.
do it.
I mean, if we're,
Let's
be positive, folks.
Do we have a proposal from this woman?
Yeah, that's the thing.
No, we stopped it because of all the nonsense. We just, it was,
Or would the board be receptive to spending the $8,500 for the first
Well,
proposal we had?
the problem I have is it seemed to be an open-ended contract. Once we signed on, we couldn't get out.
Yeah, but
And
that was
we
just for a design.
couldn't really control the costs. And the last thing I wanted to do was to have a special assessment in the middle of a pandemic,
Right.
when some people are losing their jobs,
That,
you know?
she was gonna put a proposal together and send it out. Then you would have prices. You could do it in phases. Everybody, you would have hard numbers. You
I'm
would
all
actually-
for phases. That makes it affordable. If it's affordable, then we can do it in phases.
Yeah, but you'd have to spend the $8,000. It's like bidding a job. When I bid a job, that goes to you. You look at it, you have him bid it, him bid it, and him bid it, and whoever's got the best number, but you have to spend the money up front. That's where the architect is for.
Yeah.
If you spent the 85, you could send it out to be priced, then you'd have 3 numbers and 3 designs, the same design. Pick what you want.
Yeah.
It's like a shopping cart, grocery list.
And I also had asked the landscape architect if we could get a 3D rendering, and she said, and I know it was gonna be more money, but it was for another $900, because I said if you had to convince the community that this was worth spending money on, you could actually show them the renderings of what this would actually look like, if you felt that was necessary as a board.
I'm
So
just
that was another
afraid,
$900.
She's gonna come up with a set of drawings that she's
Right, yeah.
cut
Yeah, I know,
loose,
but
and
anybody-
design
anybody in the
everything,
dumpster?
show you what's there, and you can do it in section 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, or all of
Yeah,
them,
for
whatever you
years
want.
and years.
Or none of them,
Right, or not.
but you gotta know what's gonna be the hard number.
I just don't want a
And I don't know-
situation where it's out of
right,
control.
and I don't know how many people, like the land surveyor, a landscape architect, a general contractor, a design cost,
They all
and then the
cost.
engineering company.
This
and
is-
then
Seems like
you
there's
know,
too many people involved
I
in it
don't
again.
know,
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I don't know how to.
To do it right, you have to do it right.
Of course. And it's a big community.
And again, that would be your opinion, how it's being done right. You understand that? So it's the board that votes on it, And it really matters as our opinion. So my opinion is, it's a simple thing. Why don't we look into the simple and get something done? But there's a caveat. It has to kind of be done the easy way. If you want to start thinking, is it 100,000, 200,000, and have it open-ended, then that may be a different board. Or, Peg could vote, Janet could, however they want to vote. My vote is 25. We spoke with this lady, nice lady. She looked at us like,
But that
all
was
that
a
money? All that money? Come on, she was laughing at it.
Just
this
for
is
one,
an
just
Why isn't she here?
Just for a comment, there was never a number of 100 or 200 thrown
There was
out
never
there.
a
Never,
That was
Never,
nothing.
never.
I
There
could
was
tell-
never? I was sitting there listening to it.
Tony,
No, not
I
from it.
said to you at that meeting, I have no idea what it would cost.
Right.
That's
So I'm addressing that. The board can't do,
No,
we
but
have
that
no
doesn't
idea.
mean you can't go forward, in my opinion, with a landscape architect. I guess it's an $8,000 outlay roughly for the survey and the landscape architect. That is, and then you might get it, out to contract and find out it's too expensive, which is why she said you could do it in stages
Correct.
and over a series of
Right.
years. Like stage 1, we do this thing, stage 2, we do this.
And I
Granted,
think
you have to
we
put
bring up
money
our
out in
property
advance, no
values.
doubt about it. You may decide it's too expensive. But
Hey.
a
All right, can we
development this
get on
big-
with this agenda?
No.
But my feeling was that most of River Shores particularly was getting a point of view that isn't, I didn't think was accurate
Okay.
about what the
So
land,
what
the
initial amount?
person wanted.
No, I don't know that it's initial, it may be all done. Accordingly, this whole thing can get done, but I don't want the sign out there. So if you truly object to it, then let a different board, it will have to be tabled until, and then spend 200,000, it'll
There
be a
is no
different board.
200,000.
No,
How are
I'm
we
saying-
getting these numbers? It could be 2 million, we don't know.
Right, we don't know. The board cannot vote on a question mark.
$500 to find out what it is gonna cost.
The max is 25,000. If I get it done for 15,000 and it looks real great,
Oh, forget it.
forget it. So you know what? I think we have the
Well, let's spend
answer.
the 85, and if it don't like the design, you got 15 left to do your job. How's that?
Why, Joe, why don't you just get on the board and vote? I don't know what to say. I already gave you my opinion.
Well,
Well, what does the rest of the board think?
Can't we have a
I'm willing
vote,
to approve the
anyone?
8,500, so at least we have
Well,
some
why don't you make a
information
motion like
going
that?
forward,
Ask
and
it.
then we can say we've got $15,000 to make a sign, and you can go to your lady, and you can go to your lady, and you can go to your
Right.
man. We have to start somewhere. And if it's 8,500, that's gonna get at least the ball rolling to give us some actual numbers, then let's
It's not-
approve the 8,500.
The 8,500 is gonna get you a design, which you send out to get actual numbers. And if you don't like them, you don't have to do it.
But you'll have a design.
You'll have 3 numbers, 3 bids.
So I have a question that's related but unrelated. We're looking at potentially putting out $25,000. It's not included in the budget. I'm just sort of wondering, what do we have in TBD at this point?
There's enough to do the project.
How much money is
How
there?
much money do we have in the Middle River Club? What is the amount that you have?
What's the TBD amount that's,
I think it's like 50,000 in the bank account.
50,000?
I think. You don't have a real answer, do you think?
You know why?
Yeah.
Because I'm just doing the books, I'm just barely doing them, just because I gotta get through it, that's it.
Well, it was your idea to give it to the management company, which was a big mistake, so you wanted to take on this thing? Yeah.
No, the mistake was appeasing River Terrace and River Bend, getting the management to begin with. That's correct, Vincent. That was the mistake.
It seems like there's a lot of animosity between you and River Bend and River Terrace.
You think?
Why don't we have the president conduct the meeting rather than you?
Yeah, that
And this
sounds
way
great.
we could get something done and we don't have all this anger.
He could do anything he wants. We're all gonna start doing what we want very soon.
I hope
do
so.
what
What
you
does that
want.
mean? Is that a threat?
What does that mean?
I hope so.
Why don't you explain it?
What does it mean? The
Yeah.
same thing, your behavior, we all could do that.
I've just raised my hand and made a suggestion.
We have no.
Bruce, run the meeting.
I have no problem running the meeting,
Maybe
but
you had a-
I would like to make a
Oh, yeah,
motion
yeah.
Okay.
that you at least get back to the board members with our TBD amount.
I gotta look at the I don't remember.
I get that you don't remember, but I think if we're gonna plan for something, we
There's
need to
like
know how much
50
money
some
we
odd
have.
thousand, I think. I gotta
Because
look.
there may be other priorities.
Well, this should have been done a few years ago. The projects have been held off for years now. So we've wasted a lot of money, Bruce. You know how much money I estimate? Around 100,000.
I mean, unfortunately, I wasn't here in the past, so I
Right.
can't speak to the past, I just wanna move forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if I wanna vote for fixing up the front part of the complex yet, when we have the pool deck.
That's
We have
right.
the pool itself. So if we know how much money we have
should be a
and the
priority.
estimate amount of what we're gonna take in, with more information, I think I could vote, but I don't wanna vote to have the front
Okay.
entrance fixed up if that's not the priority of the community.
Make a
Okay.
motion to table.
So I'll make a
Motion to table.
it for
I
now.
second it.
Second. Janet, did you hear that? Motion to table the front entrance?
Yes.
Yes, okay, she heard it.
Okay, so then
Table
let's,
the front entrance until we get a financials. Right? Of how much is in our budget.
But
Correct?
it should be our meeting. When you have the meeting, you should have good information here.
I would think.
I'm sure everybody thinks that.
Bruce, may I
I'm
suggest
glad that's what
something?
they think.
There are 4 or 5 priorities in the complex. Obviously, the pool deck is probably the first one, but also the driveways,
pavement.
and of course, the dumpster,
Oh, my God.
and some of the cracks all over the sidewalks. These things should all be
Mr.
addressed.
President,
So I think
these are not on the
actually-
board agenda. Please stick to the
We can look at
agenda.
those
We're
When we talk
we're
about
allowed to
other
open
stuff.
it up to the president. It's his-
No, you're not allowed to open it.
It's his decision.
It's a board meeting.
It's
real
his
business.
decision. He's the, he's
Comes under any other business at the end.
At the end, when
Let's
we
stick
talk
to the
about all the
agenda
stuff
at
that's not
hand,
on the
and it'll
agenda.
come under any other business at the end.
Okay, so let's move on.
Yeah, okay.
The next agenda item is the board voting to waive MRC reserves in the MRC account. Each individual entity has the right to waive or add reserves. River Bend is going to waive.
Don't we have to?
Well,
vote
no,
on
it's
that?
the Middle River Club we're voting on. You didn't have to give us that information.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just for the Middle River Club not to hold the reserves.
Great. I
What the
vote
individual
not.
buildings do is up to them.
Yeah, well, that's fine, I mean, you would.
So I make a motion that Middle River Club does not hold the reserves.
I second the motion.
I third it.
Well, you gotta call for the vote.
All in favor?
Yes. Yes, good, she heard. All right, go ahead.
No, there's one no.
Yes, there's one no.
Oh, you want Middle River, just so you're clear, you want Middle River Club to hold the reserves, is that correct?
Yes, I would like to start saving money to some of these.
No, you misunderstood.
Okay.
Do you want to explain it, Bruce?
Right now, we're not, none of the buildings are paying into a specific reserve account. If we were, it would mean that
Louder.
the membership would go up higher for everyone.
But
Or
some
we
of
might
our,
get
some of our
special
money that we
assessment.
pay every month, a portion of it would be set aside for
If you
future
look at the
projects,
budget,
right?
if you look at the budget that was developed,
Yeah,
every penny is accounted for, which is why it's a zero-based budget.
Well, no, Gwendolyn, I think you have a misunderstanding, so let me see if I can explain it. River Shores has reserves for Middle River Club, but River Shores holds those reserves.
okay.
So River Terrace, I don't think has reserves, is that correct? Well, you don't have to answer that, because
Okay.
I really don't care. So it would be up to River Terrace to hold those reserves in River Terrace's account, should there be
Got it. It's a
something
line
like the
item.
driveway, whatever's
Yeah,
listed.
It's a line item, okay.
Yes, so, do you want to change now that you have?
Yes, I now, I
Okay,
can change my vote now that I understand.
yes, okay.
Okay, so the next agenda item is the actual budget itself for 2022. I per se don't have any specific questions about the budget. There are some things that I actually would like some clarification on since I haven't been on the board and I really don't know what they are.
Let's see if I can answer it.
Okay, so, under proposed general and administrative expenses, what is the gas reimbursement for $1,200 to River Shores?
This was a whole controversy. We wanted to switch, yes, Bruce. What happened, we had a brilliant, or maybe I had the brilliant idea many years ago. The barbecues used to be by over River Bend, and they were run on that line. But where they were located by Barbara and June's apartment, they really were not easy accessible. So they were the board decided to move them here, which would have be better utilized for the community, for parties or whatever. But the line to run the gas was prohibitively expensive. So it runs off River Shores gas. So it used to be minimal, and then what happened, all these controversies, people started commenting, and then it got raised to $100 a month. I just got the River Shores gas bill, and it went up like $150. So that's what it is. It's a reimbursement to River Shores. We tried to go back to that and run the line, and it was like $20,000, and Andrew was involved in that, and it just was a whole mess. So I think we dropped like $5 grand wasting on all that nonsense, you know, the plumber coming out, the permits and all that nonsense. So that's what it is. It's $100 a month to reimburse back to River Shores.
Okay. And bulk trash, my understanding is Middle River Club pays for it once a month. It's $200 a month. In my opinion, once a month obviously is not enough.
Well, wait a minute, we got to get some clarification.
Yeah?
So how the bulk works is, Middle River Club does not have garbage. This was previously discussed quite openly in prior meetings. So if Middle River Club had a garbage account, there would have to be a dumpster, and then the city would come and pick it up. The dumpster would have to be outside, likely on a River Shores parking space, which would have to be charged back. The community was not in favor of that. So because if it was an automatic pickup, the garbage would have to be charged to one of the 3 entities that do have a garbage account. In the past, it was charged to River Shores. But because people complained and didn't like this and didn't like that, great, somebody volunteered from River Terrace to do it. And that one has not stepped up to the plate, and I do have that email confirming that.
So moving forward.
Right.
Moving forward, as I said, there's only once a month pickup.
Correct.
This last couple of weeks, obviously, as most people know, it's the worst I'd ever seen it.
Correct.
So we need to figure out a system where either we increase the budget by another $2,400 so that Middle River Club picks it up, or we do something to the extent where it's picked up, I think, on the 3rd week of the month. On the 1st week of the month each?
Second week.
Second week.
It would be the 4th.
The 4th, okay, thank you for that. On the 4th week of the month, we could, on a rotating basis, Shores, Bend, Terrace could pick up the bill on the 4th weekend of the month. It's not a lot of money.
Well, the only thing is, it's a Middle River Club issue, so it's not about picking up.
Right, but
Middle River Club would be required to reimburse the entity.
That's true, but each building could then reimburse Middle River Club.
Well, the only thing is, it's dealing with the city. The city's not going to do it on a rotating basis.
No, not the city. The city would come twice a month.
Well, yeah, but to bill it. Do you see what I'm saying?
No.
So if I call the city,
Yeah.
and I say, please pick up the garbage, they will have to bill River Shores garbage account.
Okay.
So that's not going to happen in the future. So what would happen is
River Shores or the Middle River Club?
No, it would bill to River Shores.
Yeah.
So
Why can't it be billed to Middle River?
I just explained that. What was the explanation?
No account.
There's no account.
Correct.
Set up an account.
So I thought I explained that. If we set up account, we would be required to have a dumpster.
But it's where the trash thing is.
A dumpster.
What do
would
we
be better
have
than that
now?
thing. A dumpster would look better than what we have right now.
What do we have now?
Well, the dumpster would not be enclosed, it would have to sit on a parking space.
What's there now? I don't get it.
What,